Ethan walked slowly along the streets of Zyphora's main city, his eyes wide with wonder. Everything around him seemed alive, glowing faintly under the light of two suns. The buildings weren't made of metal or stone like on Earth. They were alive, growing slowly from a kind of crystalline plant that shimmered in colors he couldn't name. He had been trained as a scientist, but nothing in his studies had prepared him for this. Every step he took felt like stepping into a dream. He paused in front of a fountain, though it wasn't really water that flowed from it. Instead, tiny streams of liquid light curved through the air, twisting and turning, forming shapes and patterns before vanishing into the ground. He leaned closer, trying to study it. He knew this world was advanced, but he had no idea how advanced. The liquid light seemed to move with thought, almost like it was alive. "Lost in thought again, human?" a voice said, gentle but curious. Ethan jumped, spinning around. There, standing a few feet away, was a Zyphoran woman. Her skin was a pale silver that reflected the light around her, and her eyes were larger than human eyes, a bright shade of violet. She didn't wear clothes as humans knew them, but a sleek exoskeletal layer covered her body, flexible and elegant, like the armor of some mystical creature. She tilted her head slightly, studying him as if she were studying a rare specimen. I didn't hear you approach," Ethan said, feeling his face flush. He tried to make himself appear calm, but the beauty of the alien and the city combined made it impossible. "You humans are funny," she said softly, "always staring, always thinking too much." Her lips curved into a smile, small and knowing. "So you like my body?" His mind raced. Did she mean herself personally? Did he offend her by staring too long? He opened his mouth to answer, but the words got stuck. Then she laughed, a sound like wind through glass. "I meant the armor human," she said, pointing to the smooth, shining exoskeleton that covered her torso and limbs. "Not me personally. Don't worry, you humans are strange." Then he laughed too, relief flooding him. "Oh, I see now. I'm sorry, I thought." He shook his head, still smiling. "I'm Ethan. I'm a scientist from Earth." "It shows courage." "You think that's special?" "I've never had anyone say that before," he admitted. "Then you must learn to accept it," Leora said softly. "Curiosity is your gift. It will carry you far, human." He noticed small things about the city he had missed before, the way the light shifted as they moved, how the plants seemed to lean toward them as if greeting them, how the hum of energy in the air made his chest feel lighter. Every detail fascinated him, and he tried to memorize it all. "You are quiet," Leora said after a few minutes. "Are you thinking again?" "I can't help it. This place, it makes my mind spin." It looked like a combination of a tree, a crystal, and a hologram. Leora gestured toward it. "This is one of our research devices," she explained. "It is alive in a way, but it also records information. Watch." He tried to understand it, analyzing patterns with his human mind. "Do you understand it?" Leora asked. "Some of it, maybe," he said slowly. "It's unlike anything I've seen before. It's alive, but it's also like data. It's amazing. That is why you will survive when others fail. But do not try to control it. You must observe first." "This is incredible," he whispered. "Humans have this too," Leora said. "Your methods are not the same, but your curiosity allows you to discover. You adapt to what others ignore." He found himself laughing often, not just because he was enjoying the world, but because Leora had a way of making everything playful. She would exaggerate demonstrations or challenge him with puzzles that made him think differently. At one point, she picked up a glowing sphere from a table. "Try to lift this," she said. Ethan grabbed it carefully, and to his surprise, it shifted weight as he moved it, changing its balance to match his strength. He grinned. This is amazing. It adjusts itself." "That is why you are special. I don't know if I would have noticed any of it on my own." Every step was filled with discovery. They stopped at the edge of the city where the forest began. The trees were enormous, their trunks glowing faintly, and their leaves radiated soft colors. Ethan stared, lost in thought again. "You are quiet," Leora said, thinking again. "Like I was meant to see it." Then she paused and added with a teasing tone, "And maybe, just a little, it likes your curiosity." He realized that sometimes, the smallest misunderstandings, like thinking someone was talking about themselves, could lead to the greatest discoveries. As the sun set fully and the sky turned to shades of violet and gold, Ethan knew one thing for certain. This was only the beginning. The next morning, Ethan woke in his small quarters aboard the research station on Zyphora, the sunlight of the twin suns spilling in through the transparent walls. He stretched and rubbed his eyes. still marveling at how alive the world seemed outside. Every day felt like stepping into a dream. He dressed quickly and headed toward the lab where Leora had promised to show him something new. When he arrived, Leora was already waiting, standing beside a table covered with strange devices. Her silver skin glimmered in the morning light, and her violet eyes sparkled with energy. "Good morning, human," she said warmly. "I hope you slept well." That is the way of Zyphora. Our world lives in constant motion. You humans are awake for only part of the cycle, but you learn quickly. That is why you are special. "So what are we looking at today?" he asked, leaning forward. "These devices monitor the life energy of the forest," she explained. "Our forests provide light, air, and energy to the entire planet. Recently, we have noticed strange fluctuations. Some areas dim unexpectedly, while others glow too brightly. We do not understand why. Fluctuations like that could be dangerous. Could it affect the city? It's like the forest has a heartbeat. You take risks, you experiment, and you adapt. That is why we want you here." He noticed small irregularities that the Zyphorans had overlooked, tiny shifts in color, minor delays in the flow of energy, subtle vibrations in the trunks of the largest trees. "I see it," he exclaimed suddenly, pointing at a section of the map. "Here the energy slows before it increases again. It's like the forest is compensating for something." You humans notice details without needing explanation. We would have missed this. As they worked, Ethan marveled at how different the Zyphorans approached science. Every step was careful, deliberate, and precise, while humans often learned through trial and error. But Ethan's errors were fast and frequent, allowing him to see unexpected patterns. Leora laughed quietly as he juggled wires and energy nodes, occasionally causing sparks or harmless flashes of light. "You humans are chaotic," she said, smiling, "but your chaos produces results." "You think this will work?" she asked. "I believe it can," Ethan said, "but we'll need to try it carefully." He loved this freedom to experiment. Finally, they were ready. Ethan and Leora moved into the forest, carrying a small, portable device that pulsed with light. The trees around them glowed softly, welcoming their presence. Ethan activated the device, and a gentle wave of energy flowed outward. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Ethan's heart sank, but Leora encouraged him to stay calm. Slowly, the dim areas began to brighten, and the overly bright sections began to even out. Ethan's eyes widened. "It's working," he whispered. "Yes," Leora said softly. "Your human intuition, it complements our technology perfectly." Ethan noticed patterns that Leora hadn't anticipated, subtle shifts that indicated the forest was learning from them. By evening, the energy flows were balanced, the forest glowing evenly under the setting suns. Leora turned to Ethan, her eyes shining. "You have done something remarkable today. The forest responds to your ideas as much as ours." "That is unprecedented." Ethan felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He had come to Zyphora expecting to observe and study, but instead he was part of something larger, a collaboration between human ingenuity and alien wisdom. As they approached the lab, Leora paused. "Ethan, may I show you something else?" The plants were arranged in intricate patterns, their lights pulsing gently. "These plants respond to thought," she explained. "They can mimic the emotions of those around them. That is why the plants respond to you. But the forest, the plants, they accept you because of your curiosity and patience." For the next hour, they experimented with the plants, learning how thought and emotion could influence growth, light, and movement. Ethan's ideas were playful. He imagined patterns, colors, and shapes, and the plants responded, creating glowing waves of light that danced around them. Leora laughed, joining in, and soon they were both experimenting freely, sharing ideas and marveling at the results. As the suns dipped lower, Ethan and Leora sat on a nearby rock, exhausted but exhilarated. The forest shimmered around them, alive and balanced. Ethan realized he had learned more in one day than in months of study back on Earth. "You humans," Leora said softly, "have the ability to see beyond what is visible. You imagine, you create, and you adapt. That is why you survive where others fail. That is why you are remarkable." He realized that his species' greatest strength wasn't strength or speed, but curiosity, courage, and the willingness to learn and adapt. "Thank you, Leora," he said. I think I understand now. Humans may be small, but we can make a big difference, even here on your world. Do not forget it." And as he looked at Leora, he realized that this friendship, born from curiosity, humor, and mutual respect, was one of the most valuable discoveries he had ever made. The next day, Ethan woke to an unusual stillness. The air, usually alive with the hum of energy and the subtle movements of Zyphora's forests, felt heavier. He frowned as he looked out from the research station. The twin suns were shining, but some areas of the forest seemed dimmer, almost shadowed, as if the light itself had lost its strength. He dressed quickly and made his way to the lab. Leora was already there, her expression serious. She gestured for him to join her in front of the holographic map that displayed the forest's energy flows. "Ethan," she said, her voice calm but concerned, "the fluctuations have grown. They are spreading faster than before. Our attempts to balance the energy yesterday were only temporary. Something deeper is happening." Areas that had been stable yesterday now dimmed and shimmered erratically. This is serious," he said. "If the energy keeps fluctuating like this, it could affect the city and even the planet's energy systems. We must find another way." "But humans, your methods often reveal solutions we cannot see. You may be correct." Zyphorans rarely enter unstable zones, as the energy fluctuations could be dangerous to those not attuned. But she trusted Ethan's judgment and agreed. As they stepped into the forest, Ethan felt a strange tension in the air. The plants seemed quieter than usual, their glow dim and uneven. Some trees pulsed slowly, as if struggling to maintain their usual rhythm. Ethan touched one of the larger trunks. It felt warmer than normal, almost restless, vibrating faintly under his hand. "It's alive," he whispered, "and it's struggling." The dim areas grew darker, the bright areas flashing suddenly. Ethan noticed patterns, tiny repetitions in the pulses, small areas of balance amid the chaos. "Look here," he said, pointing. "The forest is trying to correct itself, but something keeps disrupting it. That is why your presence is valuable. The forest is reacting to something external, something we cannot see. It's not a malfunction inside, it's responding to a force outside its normal environment. If we introduce controlled pulses of energy that mimic the forest's natural rhythm, we might give it time to adapt." "Very well, human, show me your method." Some areas brightened briefly, then dimmed again. Ethan frowned but did not give up. He remembered how humans solved problems on Earth not by fearing failure but by learning from it. "Try this instead," he said, adjusting the sequence of pulses. Leora watched carefully. "That is unconventional, but humans often succeed where we do not." "Let us see." The forest began to respond in waves, areas of stability growing as the anomaly was gradually brought under control. As they worked, Ethan noticed something remarkable. Certain areas of the forest seemed to anticipate the pulses, adjusting their energy flows even before he applied them. He realized the forest was learning from their actions, responding with increasing intelligence. "Leora," he said, astonished, "the forest is adapting. It's not just responding, it's learning from us." Ethan felt a deep sense of connection to the forest, as if he and Leora were part of a living organism. He had never experienced anything like this on Earth, where technology and nature often felt separate. Here, they were intertwined, and humans could influence it in ways Zyphorans could not. By evening, the energy flows were largely stable. The previously erratic areas glowed evenly, the forest pulsing with gentle rhythm. Ethan wiped sweat from his brow and smiled. "We did it! The forest is stable again." "You have saved the forest today. That is why we value you." "You know," Ethan said thoughtfully, "on Earth, humans often struggle with failure. We fear it, avoid it, or get frustrated. But when we work together, adapt quickly, and stay curious, we can overcome almost anything. You remind us that courage and curiosity can overcome even the most unpredictable challenges. Your courage, your curiosity, your willingness to explore the unknown, these are qualities that cannot be measured in strength or technology. They are the essence of what makes you human." He realized that this was more than a scientific mission. It was a chance to understand what humans could achieve when they combined their curiosity with empathy, collaboration, and determination. "I think," he said quietly, "that humans are not just survivors. We are adapters, problem solvers, explorers. And sometimes, we can make the impossible possible." He had come to Zyphora to study, to learn, and to observe. Instead, he had become a part of something living, something vast and beautiful. He realized that humans' greatest strength was not their technology, their power, or even their numbers. It was their mind, their courage, and their relentless curiosity. And as he looked at Leora, standing beside him with her serene smile, he knew that this partnership, between human and Xyphoran curiosity and wisdom, was only the beginning of a journey that could reshape both their worlds. The day after the forest stabilized, Ethan awoke with a sense of purpose. Yesterday had shown him how humans could make a difference, even on an alien world. He dressed quickly and made his way to the lab, eager to see Leora and continue their work. The city outside glowed softly under the twin suns, alive with motion and light, but now it felt more harmonious. The forest had returned to balance, and the air itself seemed lighter. Leora was waiting for him in the lab, examining the holographic energy map of the forest. She looked up and smiled as he entered. "Ethan," she said, "yesterday you helped us solve a problem that our technology alone could not. Today I want to show you how your perspective can shape our understanding even further. There is a system we rarely allow humans to access, our network of communication with the forest. It is usually monitored and controlled only by Xyphorans, but your perspective might reveal patterns we cannot see." Ethan could feel the pulse of the forest through them, a rhythmic vibration that resonated in his chest. He had never experienced anything like it. Leora gestured to a console. "This allows direct observation of the forest's energy. Most humans would be overwhelmed by the complexity, but you may notice connections we have overlooked." "I'll try." He placed his hands near the console, and the energy patterns shifted in response, forming streams of light that moved like threads across the holographic map. He studied them carefully, looking for irregularities or unusual patterns. "Look here," he said after a moment. "These streams cross repeatedly in this section, but not in others. It's almost as if the forest is trying to communicate something, highlighting areas that need attention or adjustment." Using Ethan's observations, they would create a subtle network of adjustments to the forest's energy, stabilizing the minor fluctuations before they could grow into full anomalies. Ethan suggested they combine human improvisation with Xyphoran precision, small experiments with immediate adjustments, allowing the forest to guide their actions. As they worked, Ethan realized something remarkable. The forest was not just a passive system, it responded actively to their interventions. It adapted, learning from their actions. Small adjustments that Ethan suggested were sometimes anticipated by the energy flows, as if the forest itself understood what was needed. "This is amazing," he whispered. "The forest is almost intelligent. It learns from us." Humans bring a quality that encourages adaptation. Your curiosity, your willingness to experiment, your patience, they allow the forest to respond in ways we alone could not achieve. She admired the way he approached problems, not with fear but with curiosity and determination. "You humans," she said at one point, "have a way of seeing possibilities rather than limitations. That is rare among species we encounter. You do not rely solely on rules or technology, you rely on imagination and intuition. That is why you succeed. You adapt, you explore, and you inspire. Even more so knowing we helped it find balance." It was a bridge between worlds, a demonstration that collaboration could overcome obstacles that neither species could handle alone. "You know," Ethan said thoughtfully, "I never imagined humans could contribute so much to a world like this. On Earth, we rely on technology and ingenuity, but we rarely think about how it could affect other species, other worlds. Here, our perspective matters in ways I never expected." The streets were quiet and the air was filled with the soft hum of life energy. Ethan felt a deep sense of belonging. He had come to Xyphora as an observer, but now he felt like an active participant in something larger, something living. "Do you think humans could ever be like Xyphorans?" he asked quietly. "No," Leora said, smiling gently. "Humans are different, and that is their strength. You do not need to be like us. Your adaptability, your creativity, your courage, these qualities allow you to thrive where others might fail. You are remarkable because you are human." It was not strength or technology or even numbers. It was the mind, the ability to imagine, adapt, and explore. Later that evening, Leora invited Ethan to a small observation deck overlooking the forest. The trees glowed softly in the twilight, their energy flowing steadily and beautifully. Ethan felt a sense of awe. The forest had recovered from the anomaly, and their collaboration had strengthened it in ways neither could have achieved alone. "You see, Ethan," Leora said, "the forest reflects not only our actions but our approach. By working together, human and Xyphoran, we have created harmony, and that is only the beginning. There is so much more we can learn from each other." "I want to learn, and I want to help. Humans may be small compared to Xiphorans, but our minds, our curiosity, it can make a difference. Together, we can explore possibilities that neither of us could achieve alone. The forest responded beautifully, its energy flows adapting and stabilizing with each intervention. As the twin suns set fully, casting the forest in gentle twilight, Ethan felt a profound sense of satisfaction. He had come to Xiphora expecting to study and learn, but instead he had become part of something alive, something larger than himself. He realized that humans' greatest strength was not their physical abilities or technology. It was their mind, their courage, and their willingness to explore the unknown. "You humans are extraordinary," Leora said softly. "You teach us that even small beings can have a large impact. Your curiosity, your courage, your adaptability, they are qualities that cannot be measured in strength or power. And today, you have shown that humans can shape the world in ways we could not imagine. And together, we can make the impossible possible." He knew that their collaboration was more than science. It was a bridge between worlds, a testament to what could be achieved when curiosity, courage, and understanding work together. Humans might be small, fragile beings compared to Xiphorans, but their minds and hearts were capable of extraordinary things. And as he stood there beside Leora, watching the forest pulse with steady energy, Ethan felt certain that this was only the beginning of a journey that would shape not only their worlds but the galaxy itself. The next morning, Ethan woke with a sense of calm and purpose. The forest had stabilized, the city glowed peacefully under the twin suns, and the energy flows ran steadily through every living thing. He dressed quickly and made his way to the lab, eager to continue his work with Leora. Each day brought new lessons, but today felt different. Today, he felt as though the world itself was waiting for him to take the next step. Leora was already at the lab, examining the energy map of the forest. Her silver skin shimmered in the morning light, and her violet eyes sparkled with quiet energy. "Good morning, Ethan," she said warmly. "I have something important to show you today." The display showed not only the forest but the entire surrounding ecosystem, the rivers, the mountains, even the outer cities. Streams of glowing energy traced the flow of life across the planet. "This," she said, "is the full map of Xiphora's life energy. Until now, we focused on local areas, stabilizing sections of the forest. But your human perspective may help us see the bigger picture. These areas," he said, pointing, "are linked more strongly than your system shows. If one fails, it affects others far away. But if we can stabilize the network overall, we can prevent future anomalies. Your intuition, it is invaluable." As they worked, Ethan realized that humans' ability to experiment quickly and adapt to unexpected results complemented Xiphorans' precise, calculated methods perfectly. Where Xiphorans hesitated, humans acted. Where humans improvised, Xiphorans guided. Together, they were unstoppable. Hours passed as they prepared the network, testing nodes, adjusting energy flows, and running simulations. The forest responded immediately to their interventions, stabilizing even areas that had been unpredictable before. Ethan noticed patterns emerging that neither he nor Leora had anticipated. The forest was learning from their work, anticipating adjustments, and even optimizing energy flows in areas they had not yet touched. "This is incredible," he said, while filling his voice. "The forest isn't just responding, it's improving itself because of our work." Ethan and Leora observed as energy flowed evenly across the planet, connecting forests, rivers, and cities in perfect harmony. The dim areas of the forest glowed softly, the rivers pulsed with gentle light, and even the distant cities shimmered in balance. Leora turned to Ethan, her eyes reflecting the gentle glow. "You have done something extraordinary, Ethan. You have helped not just the forest, but the entire planet stabilize its life energy. That is no small accomplishment. Humans and Xiphorans, working side by side, can achieve what neither could alone. Today, you have proven that collaboration, curiosity, and courage can change the world." He realized that humans' greatest strength was not in technology or physical ability, but in the mind, the ability to observe, adapt, and imagine solutions that others could not. He had always wondered what made humans special in a universe full of advanced civilizations. Now he knew. "You know," he said quietly, "humans are not just survivors. We are adapters, problem solvers, explorers. And sometimes, we can make a difference even on worlds far beyond our own." The streets were quiet, and the soft hum of life energy filled the air. Ethan felt a sense of belonging he had never known. He had come to Zyphora expecting to study and observe, but instead he had become a vital part of something alive, something greater than himself. "You humans," Leora said, "remind us that even small beings can create large change. Your curiosity and courage inspire others, not just your species, but all who witness it. You have left a mark on this world that will not fade." The trees glowed softly, rivers shimmered in the moonlight, and the cities pulsed gently. Ethan took a deep breath, feeling the harmony of the planet surround him. "I never imagined that a human could have this kind of impact," he said. "It feels incredible, like we're part of something much bigger than ourselves." "You are part of something bigger, Ethan, and you have shown that humans are more than what they appear to be. Your curiosity, your courage, and your determination have shaped this world. That is why you are remarkable." Instead, he had become a vital part of the planet itself, a bridge between humans and Zyphorans, between imagination and precision, between curiosity and wisdom. "You know," he said thoughtfully, "this is only the beginning. Humans can learn from Zyphorans, and Zyphorans can learn from humans. Together, we can explore possibilities that neither of us could achieve alone." It was not strength, numbers, or technology. It was the mind, the ability to imagine, to adapt, to explore, and to learn. Humans could change worlds with their creativity, patience, and courage. As they sat quietly on the hill, watching the twin suns set and the stars begin to twinkle above, Ethan realized that his journey on Zyphora was far from over. There were more forests to explore, more networks to stabilize, more mysteries to uncover. And he knew that with Leora by his side and humans' unique perspective guiding him, he could face any challenge. "You humans," Leora said softly, breaking the silence, "remind us that even the smallest species can leave the largest impact. Your courage, your curiosity, and your willingness to explore the unknown inspire not just your own kind, but all who encounter you. You are more remarkable than you realize." Humans might be small, fragile, and limited in strength, but their minds, their creativity, and their courage could shape worlds. And as he looked at Leora, standing beside him with her serene smile, he knew that this was only the beginning. Humans and Zyphorans, working together, could explore the stars, solve impossible challenges, and create harmony where none seemed possible. Ethan took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of the forest, the hum of the cities, and the rhythm of life across Zyphora. He realized that humans' greatest strength was not in what they could do alone, but in what they could achieve together, with curiosity, courage, and determination. And with that thought, he knew that the future was wide open, full of possibilities, adventures, and discoveries. Humanity had a place among the stars, not because of strength, not because of power, but because of the mind, the heart, and the courage to explore the unknown. Ethan smiled, feeling the glow of the planet around him. This was his home now, not just a world to study, but a world to protect, to learn from, and to grow with. And he knew that humans, no matter how small, could leave a mark as enduring and bright as the twin suns above.